Hey, as they say, this is July the 8th, and we kind of run into a little bit of bad luck this year. We had, I guess, really bad luck. We had a tote spill that spilled about 200 gallons of chemical right down here on this road around this curve going by us. I think it's strung out for 4 or 5 miles, and we got it the worst right here on the corner where we had the slope, and it really gurgled out. Well, it's went in and it's totally, pretty well destroyed our garden, which we'll be showing you that in a little bit. So that's what happened. So we won't have too much for canning or filming this year, all due to this spill. So we'll go from there and we'll go show you some of the garden products, what it looks like. And we're getting ready to destroy the garden. We've got a lot of trees rolled up, a lot of little trees. We'll get you a few clips of that, but oh, that Dicamba spill, that was something else. Raw chemical dumped right out of a tote. Sounded like a little over 200 gallons. So that's the best we can discuss that at the present. So we're going to show you what happened to the garden. Okay, we showed you a little reference where we just came from the road that's just back there, a couple hundred feet. And as she comes swinging around, she kind of show you the deformities in the garden and the sweet corn. There's tall and there's short and there's abnormal. It just really took an effect on stuff. Even that poor old tree, he kind of took a shit too. But anyway, he was bad anyway, but that really polished him off. But we'll go down and we'll show you a little bit of the garden produce and stuff, what it kind of looks like there. Some of the stuff in the garden, surprisingly, like the dill and the carrots, withstood that pretty good. But the tomatoes, a lot of the stuff is trying to grow back, but it just looks sickly. And according to the doctors that we went and had our checkups from, they said destroy it, don't even eat none of that stuff out of there. So that's what we're going by, and as sickly as it looks, geez, I'd hate to can that and then think I was eating canned poison. Shit, you know what I mean? So this is really one hell of a problem. We had, we was geared up for a big run this year, and it's gonna, we'll show you some of the stuff so you understand this. This has created one big mess for this little community of these 25 people here. Okay, and what's kind of interesting about this Dicamba spill was that normal spraying would be really bad, just the drift from somebody spraying normal. But where they had lost this valve or something on their tote and it just gurgled out raw material, it was like they're telling us 1,000 times worse than if somebody would have been spraying in the area. And I thought, oh my goodness. Now we had a lot of stuff that looked terrible. We've had quite a few rains just trying to come back, but oh, it looks bad. So anyway, we're going to destroy this. So we're going to show you the garden, and then it won't be long. We're going to disc it down like the doctors recommend not to eat it at all. So all it's going to do is just tempt you to want to try to eat something. If the crap's that bad, why, we got exposed enough to this shit just being in it. Oh, then it took them 3 weeks before we even found out that they had this dangerous spill. So yeah, it was really a community wreck. So we'll go on from there and we'll show you some more of the garden. Example of tomato patch that doesn't hit, okay? And I'll film the little plant. I mean, these plants should be up here this tall, jungled in, tomatoes all over. We got a handful of tomatoes, don't even know if they're fit to eat. Everybody says not to even eat them. And they're kind of strange looking. The plant is like sickly. And they was trying to sit on good, and they got, kind of a bunch of odd bubbles and shit, and kind of funny looking. I mean, they're just strange looking plants. And here's another one here. Well, he's right out here. He's trying to get him a tomato or two here, but they're little dwarf, kind of like it shrunk the tomatoes. I mean, they should have been tomatoes that big. And there's a few of them, I threw a few of them away, some of them even turned black. And then the beans, they're trying to re-straggle and re-bloom, but they're all, if you get down in them, they're kind of a bunch of like curled up. All their stuff is like knotted up inside them. If you get down in here and look at the bean plants from like here, see how the bean plants, they're all curled up and twisted and just about died, and now they're trying to grow back. And we generally keep the garden tilled good, but we was not to be in this. They didn't recommend us being in this at all. Well, we was in it quite a bit that we wasn't aware of. But then the garden has gotten weedy, which is really bad. But the plants, they just like they're all thick. You know, they're like, normally you go to pull up a bean plant and just pull one of them up. I mean, there's just a couple roots on them. That's all that's on the damn thing, and they're trying to, and just pull one of them bean plants up. It's so easy to pull. Just, you can't even find a weed that'll pull up like that. I mean, you go to pull up a weed, well, strip it. They're just like, everything is kind of like flimsy thick. And then like the onions, instead of having a nice bulb, they're kind of sickly looking. And the sweet corn, it should be more uniform. It's sickly in places, a little better, and it's just droopy, and oh my, it's really a mess. We'll show you some more of the garden. Maybe we'll just take a walk and turn here. Now, like I told you, the only thing that looked like it survived at fair was the carrots. I mean, got a beautiful stand of carrots. I left a couple of dill plants in there. I mean, I don't know if there's anything in them for carrots. Here, little guys are coming, pale looking, look kind of sickly. Ain't got very good color. Smell kind of like carrots. And then the garlic, it's kind of like dying. And then we got here some more tomatoes. We got about 500 plants of tomatoes out. These guys here are the only variety that's trying to recoup and come back. But if you go up to the plant and you test the plants out, these guys got a lot better roots to the ground than the others, but can you eat any of the product off of them? And they said, just, Roy, go destroy it and don't eat it. Well, anyway, you know, we've gardened so many years, it's really heartbreaking to tear this thing all down, because there's been a trainload of work put into it. Well, we might have had maybe 2 weedings that we didn't get into it, but yeah, it's a mess. And then the little peppers, well, hell, they should be up here. I mean, these guys should be up in the air here about like this. And hell, they're just like a bunch of little garbage dwarfs. And they got little bitty, damn little runt dwarf ass curled up peppers on them. Look like shit. And you can see where the leaves were all stunted. I mean, it's just a mess. And then it's like the plant. They just like the plants, they're just like they're rotten, they just like fall apart. Don't understand it, I've never seen that. And then it didn't really affect the dill bad. Now you can kind of see where I put in a little bit of my volunteer dill plants. They're the tall ones, but they're coming really good. And then if you get out in here, there's 2 rows of cucumbers coming down here. And some of them just died. Hell, it just killed this. So this section here just killed the dead. And then if you get in here and look, these guys are trying to grow back. But I don't know, they said don't eat the product. Well, if you get in here and look, you can see a bunch of the dead plants down in there, and it's just such a hell of a mess. And then that's our row of yellow tomatoes, and they're trying to recoup from it, but they says don't eat the product off of it. So we're just going to show you this because we're going to destroy it. And the peas and the beans, we already had some of the purple beans and yellow beans, and some of the peas that you're supposed to eat the pods and everything and pickle. Lori, she likes her pickled kind of a mixture in a jar. These guys just all look sick. I mean, if you look at the plants, they're just, I mean, they're just nothing. They're just a bunch of sickly plants. I don't know what the shit that did to that, but just a mess. And then if you keep coming over here, we had sweet corn planted in about 7 different stages. Some of it kind of got red bottoms, some playing. And the okra plants, they should be up like this. They're a bunch of little dwarfs. In this row of tomatoes through here, it just, I mean, those things are this time of year. We see them last year at this time. I mean, hell, we're down there picking tomatoes. They're shit like a jungle. And then Mary, when she got here, we went and got her some cherry tomatoes. Well, they took a beating. Hell, and now look at them. They're trying to grow new stems on them down there. I mean, they had stems all fell off. I thought they were dead. I thought they looked like him, but I mean, do you want to eat stuff off of them? I mean, it's just look like shit. I mean, it just makes you wonder. Just a big row of peppers here. Some of these guys, they never did come out of it. This guy here, he's been about that tall a month ago, and he ain't changed. He's shrunk. And then we got our tomatoes over here. These another row of tomatoes in here. They're yellow, look like crap. The corn kind of has a yellow goop bang look to it. And as you come in here a little more, everything is just leaves all shit rolled up, wrecked. Oh my, what a mess this is. Then we get into the pumpkin patch. I drove through here with the four-wheeler a little bit ago, but I was disgusted looking things over. And the biggest share of the pumpkins, if you kind of take a little view of them, they're sickly looking, like they're yellow, leaves falling off, trying to grow back. Normally we'd have these tilled again before they come out, but we ain't been down here for nearly, well, probably a good 2-3 weeks. Just stay out of the stink. They said you're not to be near the stuff. Well, we live by it, so kind of made it tough there. But anyway, this is the wreck of that. And they're just look at this. There is one of them trying to bloom. Oh, well, they think maybe he can heal up and make him a pumpkin. And surprisingly, he don't look bad, but I wonder how good these guys are hooked to the ground. Those beans up there, they weren't very good at, oh shit. Oof. Oh, look at that. I mean, hell, they're just, Mary, go pull one of them up. See how easy them pull up the plant. They're just, they ain't even like they're got any roots. I mean, they're living. I mean, we've had a lot of good little rains here to really help survive this. If we'd had, you know, a bunch of dry weather, this shit would have been just dead. But anyway, that's the story of our garden this year, gang. And then the potato patch looks just about like it. We'll take a few shots of that later on here, but here's it look like fall. I mean, I can't believe these plants. Just look at that, Mary, or Ann. There's just a few roots trying to grow, and they just pull one of them up. You see how each of them pull out. That ain't even normal. It's like pulling up a little baby weed. Do you ever see anything like that? Ain't that crazy? So it's in the ground. I mean, I wonder if the shit's going to be gone if we try to garden around here next. This was an organic garden, but it sure as hell ain't anymore. Now it's a chemical bomb garden. Even the weeds that we ain't got tilled. Look how sickly them little weeds look. That's a little broadleaf weed. They ain't even doing very good. kind of interesting. It's one hell of a mess, I can tell you that. So anyway, we'll show you the potato patch, what's left of it. It's trying to come back out, but don't, like they said, just don't eat the stuff. Destroy it, Roy, get rid of it. You'll be tempted to eat it, and you guys probably got sick enough the way it is. Don't add to it. So we're going to take the doctor's advice. So that's what we're going to do. This is tough because there's a hell of a pile of work went into this thing from one end to the other. It ain't like a little normal little garden. It's probably, a little over 100 feet long rows and probably close to 200 and some feet across. There's quite a ways across. But anyway, that's our garden project. Just you can kind of look at some of the stuff that shit kind of dwarf asses it. It just really did some strange stuff to all these plants. Like the plants, they ain't got no, well, a little bit of dry weather and hell, they'll just curl up. Shit, they ain't hardly got shit for roots. Yeah, strange. Okay, well that's what happens when Dicamba comes to your garden during the day and night, and we mainly got this. They contended mainly in dust because we had about 2 weeks after they spread the stuff that we wasn't aware of, that we had a lot of dry weather, you know, and all the dust coming off the road, it just kind of like come down in here, and of course we was all working in here. I was. It only got me about half sick. I was kind of getting dizzy, spell shit. I thought I was getting a bad heart, you know, until I was fairly healthy for my age. But anyway, we got down to the doctor, and blood pressure, I guess, that was up there higher than normal. And now we checked it, and we're kind of getting back down to normal. But this is the most I've been in this area now in probably the last 2.5 weeks. As soon as we heard about it, then we stayed the hell out of here. And now we got a mess. So now we're gonna have to just clean it up, destroy it. And I'll tell you what, it's a little bit heartbreaking to tear up a product in an area, I mean, where we had a lot of canning planned, Mary, and so anyway, there we are. So our little family garden just got shot in the ass. You know, like our dill. It kind of smells dill, but it's like really flat. It ain't like good dill. And the plants are just, well, they look good, but they just, I don't know, it's something really strange. And like I told Ann, you know, when you come along here and you pull up these plants like this, and you see what we got for roots? A few little pokey things, and they ain't rooted out like they're hanging on to stuff. What does that pepper feel like if you pull him up? Yeah. They got much of a pepper pulled in? Check him out. Well, he brought a little root up from down below. That's where he got planted. What's the rest of his plant look like?
Yeah, he's got curls.
And then see, would a guy want to eat? Would a guy want to eat any of these contraptions? Well, you want to test some, we'll save some of this shit for the test. Somebody wants to test this crap, we'll get a little bit of it. I know I don't want nothing to do with it. I've never seen anything so freaky in my life. I don't think I got to go to school to tell me that ain't worth a shit. What I feel about that. Yeah. And see, there's some of the dill plants over in there. He took a crap, he died. So, and then the yellow shit in the plant, I just can't believe that. And this corn plant here, his roots, he just ain't got, he's trying to grow brace root, but it did something to the roots. I mean, this plant here, if he's normally healthy, you can't even pull that out hardly with 2 hands. And when you can just take one hand to pull that out, if you understand corn plants, you can't, when they get this big, they're tough. But these ain't. These are kind of like sickly. So, did they eat the stuff? No. Nope. I think that Dicamba pretty well took a toll on things, and Crappy looking even on the inside. Looked like you salt and peppered it. You know, this thing looks like inside. Hey, he's shitty looking. Even smells strange. Ugh. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, this son of a bitchin' thing, it needs to get destroyed. Terrible, terrible, but that's what's going to happen to it. Well, okay, there's a good $2,000 worth of garden seeds between this and the potato patch that we bought. And I bought most of it. Should I know what it costs? And tomatoes, I got over 500 of them bought. And I don't know how many peppers and shit there must have been. Oh, there's a couple flats of hot peppers, a couple flats of plain peppers. And there's probably, I think, about 60, there's probably over 200 pepper plants that bit the dirt. And then all the seeds just on damn rail. Yeah, just my goodness, what a mess of dollars. And the work, you know, the whole month of May, we was down here working May and into June and working, then got in that shit and spill. And I don't know why they didn't come out and warn us right away after that damn spill. So we wouldn't have been down in here so much, but we ended up like you got phloem on your lungs that you're hacking up, and yeah, it is a mess, I'll tell you. Okay, we're up here into our potato patch. We got like 15 rows of potatoes, and the rows are probably 150, 175 feet long. Some up there might be a little shorter because it tapers, but you got the general idea. It's not a little potato patch, it's big. I think last year we got 80 bags off it. I don't know what we're going to get this year, which we're going to destroy this too. Because like they say, all this will do is tempt you to want to maybe eat this crap. Okay, and we don't know what the hell's under there. There is...
Oh, look how mushy that one is.
Yeah, kind of half rotten and sickly. I mean, shit, you're supposed to be able to... These are supposed to have big potatoes on them, so they're a bunch of dwarf shit that needs to get destroyed. I mean, just everything just ain't worth a damn. It just about killed some of the plants. Some of the plants are coming back. Here's one here that's kind of coming back a little bit. But shit, it ain't got nothing on it. Not even a potato. They're just plants trying to grow. We got a little shit and marble in there that's kind of squishy. No, they ain't no good. They ain't no good. That's just really terrible. You know, normally you can get a clip-in from last year that was earlier than this. Those potato rows are just growed shut. Anyway, there's our potato patch. And these little guys are I think, gonna have quite a yield. Okay, our row spacings are about 42 inch, and they're just about growed plumb solid together. And of course, we needed to weed these one more time, and we didn't, just because of Dicamba, and they should stay out of it. So, and let's look at the distance from here to the road. See where that REA pole is? Clear off in the distance, and I can see a little bit of a sign. That's probably near a quarter of a mile away from that damn spill, and it still got over here and did all this. Hell, one end of the patch looks just as bad as the other end. I mean, you can't tell any difference if you go to that end or you come on this end, which we can go to that end and hell, we'll show. I've never seen such a mess, and the potatoes are like blah. Well, see, look at these plants. He's trying to come out of it a little bit. Now this one over here, he is just having one hell of a time. Well, he ain't even bloomed, so he ain't even gonna have a potato. Now where these guys are blooming, they're making a sickly looking little thing that, and then them ones that are dead, I mean, they ain't got nothing under them. Yep, terrible, terrible, terrible. Well, so much for the potato patch. Now we're going to show you right beside the potato patch. Okay, we got kind of like a little vineyard. Okay, we let the grapes just grow in the ground. They did do a beautiful job doing that. And a bunch of other fruit tree plants. But a lot of them, it's rolled them up, curled their leaves. We don't know if it's going to kill them in due time. He looked pretty tough. That guy over there, he looked pretty tough. Just look how rolled these little guys' leaves are. Shit, this stem here, it toasted him. This guy here, we don't know if it's going to just plumb kill everything. There's even some little grapes trying to sit on there. So do you eat poison grapes? Interesting. So it's kind of just raised health our whole farm. Bean plants out in the field, they're kind of dwarfed. Well, they are dwarfed. They're just little shorties. I was out there and look when you guys were walking. They should be up like this, and they're down like that. Which we can get that clip in there real quick. Let's go get it. And there's our little grapevines ended up. They're kind of swiveled all up. These other fruit trees, I don't know what they're going to do on them, their plums and all that stuff. She's just going to show you what the rest of this thing looks like. This end of the patch here is straightening up a little better than the other end, but if you pull up any of the plants, there's nothing under them. You see a lot of dead plants in here. That's dead one, dead one, dead one, dead one. I mean, it really took its toll. Yeah, it's hard to believe what that stuff does. They look like plants. Well, shit, they look like that when we healed them up. They ain't changed any. Kind of like it's got such dwarfism in the plant, like makes dwarfs out of it. Just like it did out here to the bean field. Now this bean field is a good quarter of a mile, a little better than a quarter of a mile away from the spill. And it's just nailing them something terrible. They're trying to grow back like the beans in the garden. But the thing about it is just pulling up like it ain't nothing. I mean, it's just a shame. I mean, it's like made dwarfs. I mean, like that bean field should be twice that big, but it's just like it shrunk. So anyway, that's what the bean field looks like. I mean, they should have their rows closed, but hell, they're still open. About like everything else. Okay, now again, going to show you a few little plants just down off the road. So the weeds right down below the broadleaf look like they were chemically sprayed. We're back to July the 8th, and we decided we'd just take the crops down. They're just a bunch of little marble shit under them, but some of the potatoes that might find one or two, and tempting to grow terrible. That spill supposedly took place sometime late on May the 29th, towards the evening hours, maybe coming in from the field or something. But anyway, that's the best that we knew about it. And then we learned about it probably, I'm thinking somewhere around the 15th of June. I was talking to my neighbor Bart, and then he had mentioned that there was a spill to the boys, but the boys were busy haying, and you know, we just thought maybe somebody had a little bit of a spill. I suppose that's what the boys thought. They didn't say nothing to us, so anyway, but it ended up, we got into the real mess of it about the first 2 weeks of it. I was getting dust bombed, watching my stuff starting to perish down there. I thought I was getting some kind of blight in it, and I didn't know what the battle was, and then I finally learned about it. And phew. So we'll see how we turn out of this shit even health-wise. I know a few of us got a little problems. We lost some pets in it, kind of wondering if it just got them dingy-like. I know it makes me dizzy. It did really bad there. That's why I went in for a checkup. I thought maybe my heart was going bad. You know, I didn't know what the hell was going wrong, but hell, it kind of ended up giving me like high blood pressure and the dizziness and the shit. I don't know what that chemical was doing to us, but I know it kind of stunk like a dusty charcoal, kind of a funny smell that I'd always smell. And like I told Betty, well then she started getting kind of sick. Yeah, so it's been a kind of an interesting little wreck. So then we're going to go from there, and I'm going to get ready to clean up the tillers and stuff, because we're going to get ready to destroy this stuff here. As they say, good luck gardening, because ours ain't very good luck.